And within the UK, there are loads of different types of a psychologist. So you have clinical, health, sport, educational, occupational, obviously forensic. There are quite a few different titles, and within that you have the HCPC, who are one of the registry bodies which basically look at the different types of psychologists and make sure that you have done sufficient training that allows you to become that type of psychologist. And you also have the British Psychological Society. And so you can be chartered with the BPS, or you can be registered with the HCPC, or you can be both. It used to be that you had to be with the BPS that would allow you to become a psychologist, and I'm not sure how long ago, but it kind of, the HCPC come around, so now you can go through those two different routes. And within those two different routes, that obviously depends on how you can become qualified. And I think an important thing to note is, if you look on the HCPC and the BPS, it will outline the different types of psychologists that you can be. But the difficult thing is that the actual name psychologist isn't a protected title. So that means that really anyone can do an undergrad, or they could do a master's and say that they are a psychologist. So it's really important that when you are looking for a psychologist, that you are able to look for a psychologist that is a certain type of psychologist, or they are registered, as I said, with the HCPC or chartered with the BPS. Obviously, I'm just talking about the UK here. So within that, you normally do an undergrad, which would be a BPS accredited or recognised. And then that would normally be psychology. It could be psychology and criminology, psychology and sociology. It can be like a joint honours. I did psychology and criminology because I knew that I wanted to go into forensic psychology. So then following that, you would do a master's. And again, I said I'm just talking about forensic psychology because that is the route that I have done. So that's the one that I know. With clinical psychology, I know that there is the training through the NHS that you can get on straight after doing a undergrad, or you can still do a master's and then go for it. But in terms of forensic psychology, you have to do a master's, which is stage 1 of the BPS accreditation. So that's kind of like your first part really of the doctorate, or the way that you can become qualified. So you do that will either be 1 or 2 years, and then really from that you really want to start getting kind of the real life experience, so working in a forensic field, whether that's in a prison, whether it's in secure hospitals, whether it's in some sort of children's home or supported housing, within probation, anything like that. As long as it's kind of within the field of forensic psychology, it will be really, really relevant. And then what I did was something called the stage 2. So that was it's the practitioner doctorate. So within that it's up to 3 years, and you have to be classed as a trainee forensic psychologist, which you can either get the job first or get on the course and then get the job that you're in to be kind of moulded to what you need to achieve on that program. So you get on the kind of the next step, which is the practitioner doctorate, or you can do the stage 2 route, which is through the BPS. They both have elements that you have to be working within the field, and you have to achieve different competencies throughout. They are very similar, but they're worded differently. So the stage 2 through the BPS is what will allow you to be chartered with the BPS. And then the one that I did, the practitioner program, that was HCPC accredited, so that meant at the end of it I could be HCPC accredited. There are university courses which combine the two, which allow you to become chartered and accredited. There are a few of them in the UK, so if that's kind of if you would want both, then that would be worth checking out. So the first step is you do the undergrad, do masters, then you either decide whether you want to do the BPS route if you want to do the practitioner program, which I did mine through Cardiff Metropolitan University, or you can do the one that's combined, which is at various other universities within the UK. And then once you do that, you are able to become a forensic psychologist. So you would be qualified to be able to practice and to be able to use the title of forensic psychologist. And unlike some of the other psychologies, if you do the BPS route or the HCPC route, at the moment when you finish it, you can't use the doctor title before your name. Even though you've done a practitioner doctorate, you have to do a professional doctorate, which is what I am doing now, which is the research element. So when I did my training, it was practitioner. So it was everything that you did on the job, everything that you would need to be a competent forensic psychologist. And that's where the competencies parts come in. And then as I want to really develop my skills as a researcher, and I also would like to have the doctor title before my name. So that is when you do the professional doctorate, which then will allow you to become really good at research. It will allow you to be able to transfer your practitioner skills into the research world and then back again. So it's really allowing you to showcase your skills as a forensic psychologist and being able to add to the field of forensic psychology. And that is where you would get the doctor title before your name. As I said, it's different for the other types of psychologies, but that just kind of gives you hopefully an insight into what it takes to become a forensic psychologist. And as I said, it is the root of the studying that you need to do, but also really getting that experience, because if you don't have the experience and you can't utilise the skills, and for some of the courses you wouldn't be able to complete the courses if you wasn't practicing them in the field at the same time, because you have to do that to be able to evidence it. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. If you do have any questions about this, then please drop it in the comments. I'm trying to kind of share my knowledge from my experience, and if you've had any different experiences or you feel that it would be worthwhile to comment, to share your knowledge, then that would be really good too. It would be good to see and hear how other people have become trained as well. So yep, thank you, and I hope you found that helpful.